sleep. I am Coach Cameron, and I see a whole army of little soccer warriors here in defiance of out-of-control coaches and parents. You've come to fight as free players, and free players you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight?
No. Not against them. They're too scary. They scream at me repeatedly, and if I don't comply, they will take me out of the game. And I'll be embarrassed and ashamed. So will I fight? No. There's too many. I can't fight. I don't want to be subbed off. I want to play. So I'll do what they say.
Aye. Fight, and you may be subbed. Comply, and you'll stay on the field. At least for a while. And retired many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all the games from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell the parents and coaches, shut up and no more, this is our game, not yours, and to tell them that they may take our game, but they'll never take our freedom.
MLS Next is a mess. Phoenix College versus Washington. It's this Tuesday, and U.S. versus Mexico is upcoming Thursday. Will U.S. be out of the World Cup? Probably. Michael Cartenuto is with us, and he's also doing play-by-play for the Bears on this Tuesday. So I have a question for you, Michael.
Yes.
Right away.
It's great to be here.
Who's going to win, UW or the Bears?
You know, the team, since I'm calling the game, I don't want people from anywhere to dislike me, so whoever scores the most goals will win. But I'm thinking we'll see quite a few of them because they have a very good team. You have a very good team, and I'm just happy to be calling the game.
Well, good. We're happy to have you, but I know who's going to win. Ryan, I think I know who's going to win. You can do it. Oh, my gosh. The whole show is ruined. I know who's going to win.
Man, you're talking real fast.
Well, I'm a fast talker. We only got an hour show.
A team that is known as the Bears. The Bears.
The timing is impeccable for IT. Ryan, who's back? How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good.
Yes, you are. Welcome back to the show.
I don't know if anyone could hear that. I wasn't holding my mic, and
There-
my mic is also really quiet. I'm doing good.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jack's not here. El Rojo is in Washington. We should do the El Rojo intro anyways. Yeah, El Rojo is actually in Washington, and we have a video of him playing against UW from yesterday. There's Jack at Husky Stadium, or their training facility. Yeah. There's Jack with the ball. Made a pass. Didn't lose it. Didn't get kicked. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So Jack gave us a scouting report saying we're in trouble, but that's okay.
Wow. Does he have a few more details than that? Besides you're in trouble?
It
Okay.
details mean nothing. I mean, you get the ball, you try to score a goal. It's that simple. But Phoenix College, the 2021 Region 1 champions, have had an amazing spring ball season. Now that Jack, he was just playing him, giving us a scouting report, and Ryan already forgot. There you go.
You did it out of order.
Oh, well, that's why we did a pre-run. So it is what it is. From thebiglead.com, whenever a male athlete has the misfortune to absorb a shot to the groin, announcers are right there to deliver some euphemisms to explain what happened. So before we get into that, let's talk to Michael Cartenuto.
Yes,
All right, let's.
present.
We got to know each other from AIA. We did some game. Did we know each other
No.
before the AIA?
Yes,
Shoot,
from
how long ago?
MCTV.
When?
How long have you been the head coach at Phoenix College? How many years now?
I don't know. 17 to 20.
Okay,
I've been
right.
I've been there 20 years.
So yes, so the first time I met you would have been 2003, and covering stuff for Maricopa College's television when they actually had something. So yes, the first time I came out to men's soccer, well, not the first time. I mean that we covered it, but yeah, doing stories on you. So yes, since back then, and then I figured you said you were better than Sasha on the field, and you wanted to be better in the booth. So of course I had to invite you up.
I'm definitely better than Sasha on the booth. I'm still practicing to this day to make sure I'm better than Sasha Hunter on the booth. So
Hey, did you guys know that Cody took Spanish in high school? So
what'd I do wrong?
no, you didn't do anything. But she said, "Does that mean Ryan is La Roja?"
La Roja?
Oh wow!
Showing
Look
off.
at that.
Well, why don't you make a
definitely showing off there?
why don't you make a sweet overlay of yourself?
Here, wait, I got it. La.
Well, all you had to do is
What?
change the picture, make it you. We can do
I
that.
think I have a picture of me like.
Crossing your arms, we can do that.
Oh, make it one day, yeah.
Well, Michael Cartenuto,
Unique name.
Yes.
play-by-play guy. So
Absolutely.
back to the male athlete that got the misfortune of absorbing a shot to the groin. What would you say as an announcer if that happens?
Well, outside the fact that I can sympathize with his pain, I like to keep it somewhat light, but like the family jewels, everybody can see it. They know where he had. I mean, he's not getting up for a while, and it is the worst feeling. I mean, it is absolutely the worst feeling. I experienced the second worst many times, getting the wind knocked out of me, and that was never any fun, especially when you turn around and somebody blasts the ball, and you're like, it can't really pick up that much speed when I'm not when I'm pretty close. Yeah, people, when they know how to kick, it does. So, but yeah, I would say the family jewels, and definitely crack some jokes. I mean, come on, you're gonna crack jokes because it didn't happen to you.
So below the belt, sensitive area, you can say a lot of things, family jewels, of course, but a young visionary on the record believes it should be something else. Here is Chris, I think it's Weideman, a producer from Meadowlark Media and play-by-play voice for the assorted MLS and Liga MX matches, explaining that Orlando City's goalkeeper Pedro Gaez had been hit in the penis after he was hit in the penis with a shot. Here's a video.
I say stay down.
You would too, Chris.
Yeah. You hit him in the penis.
Hit him in the penis. That's what happened. He hit him in the penis.
That guy's name is Whittingham. It's got Witty in his name.
Yeah, you got mics. Just attach the mics to
My
your
mic
throat.
doesn't do anything.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Absolutely
you can
does.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I can hear anything.
Well,
Okay.
well,
turn the headsets up a
Yeah.
little.
Mine is all the way down.
so yeah, he's now saying it's about hitting in the penis. Let us know. Comment. Should it be called penis or family jewels?
Well, look, if anybody has seen the 1990s classic Kindergarten Cop, I mean, you had a kindergartner saying,
Yeah.
boys, he goes, he's like, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, and he raises his hands like 4 times. I mean, it's a kindergartner knows anatomy.
Yeah.
So that's like a kindergartner calling the game right there. I like
Yeah. So if it was a female was holding that area, it would be a vagina. So, yeah, body parts. I'd like to go more into that because not every sport shares that same thing, but we won't talk about that because we'll get canceled. A soccer match between Everton and Newcastle, speaking of people that want to cancel things, it was halted Thursday as a protester stormed the pitch and zip-tied himself to one of the goalposts. This required several police officers to remove the fan using bolt cutters. Get that off. It's like it's cutting his neck off. That idiot.
See, I would have, if I was a player, I agree with you. Idiot. Totally, coach. Total idiot. I would have, as players, I would have gotten some soccer balls off the sidelines and started blasting him.
They should have left them.
At his face. No, I would have, yes, I would have left him, but I would have loved to have blasted it off that because, again, it has nothing to do with he's protesting something, and then it doesn't,
Oil.
And, yeah, right.
Oil.
And of course, because we have to bring politics into sports, which again, not naive, kind of there, but they're sporting events. They shouldn't be. Except for what you said we were going to get canceled on. I agree with you on that. We won't go there, but it is one of those things where it's frustrating because if you're a player and you know, even everything that's going on, like if you don't want to, like with FIFA, what they're doing with Russia and the whole Ukraine thing, like nobody agrees, like you just march into a country. But I don't think athletes and sports teams should have to pay for it. Now, if you want to, like UEFA moved the games out of there, that's fine. You don't want to bring people and money into there, that's fine. But taking it out on the athletes who have nothing to do with it, and then this protester, I would just take shots at them.
And apparently it's a group of them. So here's another one. So a pole lover, another one, attached himself to the pole. From this tweet, he says, "Sorry to have interrupted your game, but no one listens unless we do crazy stuff like this. This beautiful game, like your lives, will be disrupted by increasingly extreme weather events in the years to come." Kai, 20-year-old, a law student, great. Yeah, he's very smart. At the University of Manchester said, and here's a video of it. Look at this idiot. Now the people in the fans are ticked. Yay, get them off. Yeah, that's a sign for something. Speaking of, yeah. They should just throw him to the fans. The fans would murder him. It's about overrun.
We can't reward him wrong with the wrong, but that would be funny.
The fans would.
I just, you know what, to the lighter side of that though is, like, you know how in baseball now and football here, quite a few years back, they stopped showing people that ran onto the field and stuff like that, and that are taking their clothes off. If you go YouTube Kevin Harlan and his calls on the radio, the best calls ever, because they don't show him, but he's on radio and he describes it. Is just, I mean, his pace and everything. So it is pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, people want to get on a field, and you know, it's the whole, like you said, it's not even the canceling. It's everybody talking out of both sides of their mouth. You think, oh, I'm a fan, or I can do whatever I want, or we're going to protest at a sporting event.
He's doing it. He's doing it for our safety, because eventually the world's going to crumble and we're all going to die. Well, so because of oil.
But we're supposed to have oceanfront property in Arizona by this time, because
California was supposed to go away.
It's supposed to be in the Pacific already, and we don't have it. So
dang it.
Yeah.
Speaking of more goofballs, Redlands soccer coach arrested after caught allegedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old in the back of his car. Redlands, California. Redlands police arrested a local youth soccer coach caught allegedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl in the back of his car. Officers discovered the 40-year-old Jonathan Lidzema, and the minor in the backseat of his parked car Thursday morning, according to the officials, or I should say officers. But yeah, that's a problem. And that's why we cover, like, we could do a pedophile a week on this show. We've done, I think, over 20 just on the show that we do once every Sunday. But there's so many of them, and all these parents they're so, like, here you go, have my child, good luck. Can you give them a ride home kind of thing mentality, which is strange in these times, but they do. Here's another one. Youth soccer coach going to prison in child sex exploitation case. A former McAllen Youth League soccer coach will spend 17.5 years in federal prison for sexually exploiting a teenager girl on his team. Good job, coach. Which carries a maximum penalty of 30 years. He only got a little bit more than half. So yeah, gross.
It's insane. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, and both sides too. And it's so funny you say, like, yeah, oh coach, give me a ride home. Now my mom, who, she'll hear this later, but I always had to give her a hard time because I was always the last kid to be picked up. You would have loved me coaching because she always was yelling at us to get places and be on time, and we were. But to pick me up, I was 95% of the time the last kid out of practice.
You know what the rule is now for the last kid to pick up and mom's not coming? Call the police.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, call the police.
Why?
Well, I can't take you home. I can't take a kid home, but I can call the
Right,
police.
but it used to be like,
Kids,
no, that's what I was
not-
going to say. Coaches, it was like, hey, coach, can you drop me off? Because a lot of times the coach had a kid on the team anyway. So that's what, of course, growing up, I get playing. But yeah, there are times like I would go to my mom like, are you kidding me? And she's like, well, I finished and
Call
like,
the police.
It was somebody. Yeah, it was crazy. But coach, because you felt fine with coaches, obviously taking your children home. And these again, it is completely sick. And here's the thing, like on the first story, the overlay in Redlands, like you're saying, so this 14-year-old is in his car, allegedly in his car, but allegedly the sexual assault. And if there had to be obviously people around at practice, so you didn't see, nobody saw him like guiding her to his car or anything like that. If he did, again, and it's just
They know, the community knows. They just assume nothing bad's happening, but when they do inappropriate things,
Right.
that is kind of weird. Believe them.
Well, I've heard nightmare stories from, and this is kind of set to the effect of, you're right, like administrators or somebody being around of, and again, it's not, I'm not, believe me, these two coaches, I mean, obviously they should never be allowed near kids or should have been allowed near kids and coaching and, trying to be obviously a role model, something to look up to. But I've heard nightmare stories from equipment managers, like high schools and just in general, about girls being very, like, just changing wherever. And this thing, like when I was in high school, it's like everybody waited till they got in the locker room. And I get like,
Nope.
club tournament and stuff like that. Club tournament stuff is different, but I don't understand this because me, I've called a lot of games, different sports, and when I see like,
It's Brandy Chastain's fault.
oh, will you stop? Wow, that's funny.
She opened the door.
I mean,
She's like, women power. I scored the game winner.
won the World Cup, yes. Which
Well,
no, but
it is bad.
I'm just saying,
but
like, it's bad when then it comes down to, oh, like, get out of here, do it, and then it's because it's just even the inkling of being anywhere near it is just crazy. But then you have these nut jobs that, like you said, I mean, it is pretty pathetic because every time I get sports news updates and anything, when you see this, it is pretty pathetic that you could have, like, yes, a pedophile of the week. And the crazy thing about something like this, somebody in their 40s and then the
teenager.
overlay too, it's not the first time they've probably done that.
No. Believe them. When they're kind of creepy, believe them. From FUT411.com, following an official complaint filed with the MLS Next League office, Texas United is forced to end its allegiance with Dallas Texans. The days of Dallas Texans Academy roster being used to play a Texas United are ending. On March 4th, MLS Next announced on that Texas United had joined their platform through the early admissions phases of the application process. This announcement sent shockwaves through the North Texas soccer landscape, not to the parents because they won't let them know. I'll let you know, as the talent-rich and uber-competitive youth soccer market is home to some of the nation's most coveted youth academies, given competition a new name in Texas. But anyways, this is a long article. I don't want to cover it too much, but it's a platform. It's called MLS Next, and everyone wants to compete, so they borrow from other organizations that are not part of MLS Next, but they're MLS Next affiliated to keep their clubs alive. So you have the powerhouse clubs that get the MLS Next dub. So they're like, you are MLS Next, you are worthy. Then there's all these smaller clubs that are not close enough to do the training sessions, or they decided to stay with their home smaller club, but they're not good enough to compete at the next level. They'll borrow those players like ODP and bring them in to help them go and compete against MLS Next teams. Well, the other young, smaller clubs were like, that's not fair. They're saying they're MLS Next, and they're not. They're just borrowing. So they filed a complaint, and the complaint went to MLS Next. MLS Next administrators came back and said, no, now you cannot use MLS Next coaches that are not affiliated with the MLS Next club. So they segregated that, and they can't borrow players. You have to be at the club you're with, and if you're ECNL, you're just ECNL. You can't be MLS Next and ECNL and do multiple games. So these kids were getting a lot of games, a lot of playing time, a lot of opportunity to be seen, and they just nixed it. Why? Because it's a scam, people. It's the same stuff I've been telling you about over and over again. This is no different in DA. I just talked to parents the other week, and I know this is kind of like for you.
Believe me, it's not because I talk to people when I do research. I talk to people all the time about.
Well, club.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but just different acronyms.
Right.
So now it's MLS Next, and now it's MLS Next Pro. That's the next one, Ryan. MLS Next Pro.
Wasn't there another one that happened?
They don't
We
stop.
were making a joke about it, and you were like, "Oh, but it actually happened." Like next MLS,
MLS Next after the next is the next scam for the American parent that just doesn't know. It's the same people. That's what we're doing. Like just because they give them name, it's like saying change my name.
Does the MLS have any
affiliation?
Yes, because I know they support obviously youth leagues, and there's so many different. I know the clubs have their own. Obviously the MLS clubs have their feeder teams, but they sponsor. I know not just camps and academies. Well, academies. They have academies.
So here in Arizona we have RSL.
Yep.
MLS Next. But you want to be on RSL Academy in Salt Lake. That's where you want to be. But all the MLS Next and stuff out here, it's not real. And there's ECNL teams that are below the MLS Next, supposedly, that can beat MLS Next. So that doesn't make sense. That shouldn't happen. But that's how it exists. So it just gives them the ability to change. And now they're fighting. They're majorly fighting, and there's going to be a big draw from it, and they're going to change it again, guaranteed. There'll still be MLS Next academies that are directly affiliated with the MLS team.
Right.
But all these sub-affiliations,
they're not. Right.
They're just fake. It's just there to get money, extract money from the parents, thinking they have the next opportunity to MLS Next, which they don't. They don't at all. So let's talk about Mexico. Mexico and USA are playing next Thursday. This is a big game. Ryan, can you show the standings? I didn't have that in the overlays. You have to, I think, throw them in. There'll be CONCACAF standings.
Oh, I can tell you the standings right now as she's looking for that.
Yeah. Those are the next games coming up, but you can leave that up.
Canada is in first with 25 points. U.S. and Mexico have 21, although the U.S. is listed as second. Because a goal differential.
Yeah.
+2 there. And then you have Panama at 17. You have Costa Rica at 16. El Salvador at 9. Jamaica bobsled time at 7. And unfortunately, Honduras is in 8th with 3 points.
So keep those standings up. Let's go back to the schedule. Can you throw the overlay back on, Ryan? Yeah. So this is where it gets scary. So U.S. has to go to Mexico, where they've won. Last time they won there was 2012 at Azteca 1-0. So they should lose there. Hopefully they'll get a tie, and if somehow they get a win, that'd be huge. I doubt they will. Then they have to play Panama. What's Panama, Mike?
Panama, standings-wise?
Yeah, they're like 4th?
They are, fourth. They have 17 points.
And they're good. But
they have played well. I actually, you know what? Because I know that when U.S. lost 1-0 in that game, the funny thing is, I was like, I should text Coach because there was a few things I saw, and I thought Panama actually I don't know, maybe all these years playing against Mexico and the U.S. in the midfield, they actually looked better. And not that they were ever crazy
Panama's good. But
they looked better. They at least looked a little more fluid. I think their strikers are where Panama suffers, though.
Panama has a play in the U.S., so that should be our advantage. We have to win that one. But then, say we lose both those games. We lose to Mexico and tie or lose to Panama. Then we have to go to Costa Rica, where we get hit with batteries to the head.
Yes.
That's dangerous. And all the pressure of that game is not good. Because the last time we didn't make the World Cup, all the pressure was we were in Jamaica with all that pressure and failed miserably, losing to Jamaica, who is in the bottom of the table of the CONCACAF. That's a problem. That is scary. But August 15th, 2012, the U.S. used some fantastic defense, and Michael Orozco on the 80th minute did earn a 1-0 victory. Hail Orozco, number 4. He got us the win, the shutout win. That's the last time we won there. But we'll see what happens. And now they got all this mafia stuff going on and, their last brawl and stuff. That's kind of getting kind of scary. So what do you think? Comment. Do you think we have a shot of winning in Azteca? More importantly, let's see what Greg Berhalter has to say on another segment of Tactics with Greg Berhalter. That's right. What happened? Oh.
Oh, I grabbed the whole screen.
Yeah.
I said very simply, believe. And if you believe, you will achieve. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. We have each other's backs. And that's what we need to talk about, is about having each other's backs and being persistent in a culture where we can get people off balance and continue to be dynamic, and play a system that is not only pleasing to the eye, it will be a style that will be effective to win trophies.
Now we know. Knowing is half the battle.
Greg Berhalter. So what do you think, Mike? What's wrong, Ryan?
What does build out of the back mean?
Because Greg Berhalter, when he first came in, he wanted to build out of the back, and it didn't really work.
Oh, okay.
Because we know the players that could do that. But
Exactly. Well, you know what, and I know, because I know you and I actually years back had this conversation when Klingsman first got hired, and he talked about obviously the youth leagues, and it's got to start from down there. And people saying, "Oh, he comes over, thinks he knows everything." And it's funny because when they didn't qualify in 2018, a lot of what he said, I'm like, wow, coming to fruition. Really weird. Really weird. He knew what he was talking about. But look, as for this team, I think I don't understand. I mean, the game in the freezing cold snow, that was just absolutely dumb. Like, you can't build anything. I'm sorry. You played longer than I did. I played for a long time. And I'm telling you right now, like, I don't mind cold, but when the wind is there, snow is cool. But when wind is like that, yeah, they won the game, great. But I just think that you need to go into Mexico and relax. It's
oh, do we have a call?
We have a call. Wow.
Oh, so Jack's calling in.
Actually, it's Jack and TJ.
All right, let's bring it. So they just played University of Washington, so we're going to go a
Nice.
little backwards here. So let's see if we can get him on, see how this works.
Did it work? Hello?
Hey, Jack.
What's up? I'm not on the screen, but
There
what's
you
up?
are. So this is Jack and TJ. Tell us about the UW camp.
It was pretty fun. The training sessions were really fun. And they also had like a mental, what was it? It was like a mental practice.
Mental skills.
Yeah.
So what did they tell you about the mental skills?
Like most of the game is about your mentality, and people don't practice their mentality. So he was telling people to practice their mentality about the game.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what you learned from it, Jack? What's your mentality?
My mentality?
Did they talk about the power of now?
Did they?
The power of what?
Now. Just like
Now?
kind of. Yeah. He kind of related to not like focusing on your future and just like be in the present.
Be in the present.
Wait. Yeah, wait, is this okay?
Where are
Yeah.
you? I know
We're
you're
in the
in
dark right
Bainbridge
now.
Island. Show the viewers where you're at. All right, so that's Bainbridge Island. That's in the. You're in the.
Yeah, there's like water right in front of us, but
Show us the ocean.
it's too dark to see.
It's too dark.
You could show them the lights of the houses.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, how do I turn?
Just put your camera the other way.
What the?
Just show them like this.
Yeah, that's not.
Can they?
All right.
It's
Yeah.
like- oh, yeah.
It's dark out there. So
Yeah,
he's
that's
on.
what I said.
Jack and TJ are at Bainbridge Island, staying at Papa Ogden's house. As they just finished the University of Washington camp. So Jack, how does Phoenix College beat UW?
Okay, so they like to add many mids to the middle. Is what I've heard from one of their players. Even though I literally told him my dad's the coach, I told him like the day before, and I think he forgot. But yeah, they just attack a lot, and they like pulling defenders with their 10s, so they can make runs with their wingers. But yeah,
So
hopefully none of them are watching
do
this.
they try to do up? I doubt it. It doesn't matter.
How dare you?
It's all about executing your game plan. So our game plan is what it is, but I'm not terribly concerned what they do. We just want the opportunity to play, and we're grateful for the opportunity to play. So it's gonna be a cool event, and make sure you're there. It's a free event, and it's gonna be awesome. Jack and TJ, will you guys be there? TJ, is your team coming?
I can convince them or try.
I will be going. I think Tuesday's
clicked
posted as well. I think.
Well, you have to hit the plus sign. There you go, Ryan.
No, I know. I hit 7 and it freaked out.
Jack, we need you back. IT Ryan is losing control. of
She's
his
sucking?
place. No.
Wait, where'd you go?
It's not broken. But all right, so oh my gosh. So Jack,
That was another.
do you have any suggestions for us to attack them? You told us how they're going to attack. How are we going to attack them? How should we? How's their goalkeeper?
Their goalie's actually good.
Yeah, their goalie's pretty good. But I think the best player is the mid for sure.
Yeah. What's his
They
name?
have some really tall defenders.
So don't.
Also,
play
I
them.
don't really know their names.
Soto is one of
Soto, yeah, Soto was a freshman last year, I'm pretty sure, and he started every game.
Yeah.
He's good.
We're in trouble then, I guess. But we'll give it the Mighty Bear try this Tuesday. So have a safe trip back, Jack and TJ, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday as the Bears take on UW.
All right, peace out.
All right, later. Thanks.
Huskies and Bears.
All right, well, that was kind of cool. We
was
don't do
cool.
that much.
We have
But
a couple questions from Ian McCallum.
oh, Ian. Ian's the director of coaching in Bainbridge Island.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
What's the question?
Is Jack on the rocks? Is that what they call Bainbridge?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, but that second question was, will there be a live feed to the game for everyone on BI?
Of course. Here's our play-by-play guy.
Yes.
So this is Michael Caratanudo.
That's me.
He's worked all over the place. Where have you worked? We did Fox together doing AIA.
Yeah, when
state championships.
When they had it worked out and showed it in real time, not tape delay. But there's no shot there. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously soccer here, club volleyball here in other states, football, basketball, softball, baseball, soccer. Not enough soccer because every time I ask for more, they're like, well. So yeah, but yeah, so when you called me up and said there's a game on Tuesday, I was like, okay.
Yeah, so
yes.
you're gonna be back doing soccer full time. I'm making you do that, and hopefully all our home games at Phoenix College and maybe away games depending on our Wi-Fi connection or however we're gonna do this.
But send you the link, Dan.
Yeah, it'll be on the Phoenix College YouTube channel.
Or you can do it that way.
Yeah, and I'll post it on Facebook and everything, so you can watch that game live with Michael Caratanudo doing play-by-play, and I'm going to be doing color.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you plan on joining me.
Yeah.
I'm very good at entertaining. But
there's a chance that Joseph Jaju might do color.
Oh, okay.
So he played football at PC, but also played soccer.
I recognize that.
Yeah, Joseph Jaju with State Farm. So it's going to be sponsored by State Farm.
Nice.
But, yeah, that's what's going on there.
Is Jake going to be there too?
Who?
Jake from State Farm?
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
So cool if Jake was there.
Well, you never know.
That would be cool. I mean, he should show up.
So,
pop out, Jake.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to move on to a fun segment we typically do. Now it's time for a segment of All Ball. As soon as Ryan can find the intro. So this is All Ball. These are the best soccer videos of the week, starting with the streets, that Street Soccer Matters. If we had more of this in the streets, America, we would be a better place. Play street soccer. You can just X that out, Ryan.
Yeah, I got a couple things going on right now.
Yeah, I see that as you lean back and relax.
I have a bad back, and you gave it to me.
Play Street Soccer Matters.
Street Soccer Matters.
Is she trying to say she carries you? That's why she has a bad back.
No,
I
you
don't know.
have
that bad genes.
She
All right.
carries you through the
You
show.
don't want slide tackle?
No, I want Play Street Soccer Matters because that's one.
If I beat it out wearing a Johnny Adiola, wanna roll with the keys. You say me on the lifestyle, sweetheart. Actually, I don't give a shit. I'm a rapper now, I don't live in it. Smoke up in my hotel, feeling it. You can do what you like, darling, no, they don't give it. Still get way when I smoke cigarettes. White boy always get cold, get a wet. But my big brown in love, bro, with his
That's the difference right there. So if we had more of that in America, we wouldn't need MLS Next, that fake program that they have.
How do you really feel?
It's fake.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not real.
It annoys me. No, believe me, it annoys me because, and like I was saying to you before we started the show, and for parents out there, and I know obviously this man will always set you straight. It's not about kids can't be coached up, and it's not like you have to be plucked at 6, 7, 8 years old, like Messi, and head over to Barcelona and be in their academy. But at the same time, like playing club, and as expensive as it is, and you always hear parents say, "Oh, it's so expensive." Yes, if your child A is coachable, B they're going to have some athletic skills, talent, but they want to work and do it. Coaches will coach them. But when it's a scam, it's like if anybody ever watched that 70s show, that was one of my favorite things where Jackie wants to be a model and she walks in, she's like, "Oh, you're a model," and then Donna walks in and the lady forgot that Donna was her friend. She's like, "Oh, you could be a model too," and Jackie like freaks out. It's like that attitude, even though it's comedy. It's like that attitude, and I know as a person, as a coach that's obviously coached at that played very, very played competitively and at a high level and coached for years. And I mean, even being over at Millennium with all the coaching you do, which again, I don't see how you have time, but that's awesome that you do. It's annoying when you see clubs and stuff like this happen, and it's to the point too where, like you said, they're borrowing players just to like try and beat some teams. It's like, play the game. You can, because you said, I mean, yeah, if you look at it, they should be able to beat that team, but teams line up and play, and some days, guess what? They're going to beat them.
That's why we play the game, and that's why we're playing University of Washington.
But it's annoying. Long story short, too late, but it's annoying when you see scams like that, just because it's frustrating for parents, and then it's like, then kids we all say kids play too many damn video games in this day and age. They never want to go outside and play, and I mean, I love all the memes I've seen lately about drinking out of hoses and how we survived, and we ate, food off the ground and whatever, and we survived. We're perfectly fine. But kids just want to sit inside and play video games.
Well, if they go outside and try to play sport, they're told lies and ruin it. But
how dare you?
When you have a bit of a buzz, you play a lot better, leading us to our next video. This is a good one.
We're going to skip number 1 again.
Wait, what are you on? Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but we can go to beers and see.
Yeah, go to beers. Well, then we'll go to that one.
So Nick. Mate, it's all about to die as it is.
Sunday League at its finest.
Jackson's got some power juice. He's going to be dead by half time, mate. We've got 5 viewers here, Joe. We're taking off. 5. Take it off. We're taking off, mate. All here for Deck.
I think he's going to score. Or he's going to get injured.
Yeah, good
score or injured.
Deck. Give it, Deck. Yeah, here we go. Shoot! Shoot!
That's a goal. That's what I don't know, but that's culture. That's the difference between what we have in the States and elsewhere. We don't have enough culture. We don't play on the street. No. We don't have beer when we play soccer.
Well, here's the thing too, and I've said this to you. I know I've said this to you a million times because we broadcast enough games together too. Is that there is players here that have talent. People say, "Oh, soccer," and it's like you know when kids are little, it's like, okay, let get them out there. They go play soccer, which is great. But that's another thing. It comes down to the coaching that you get. Like, I get it as a 7-year-old. No, I don't need somebody that was at the international level, like yelling at a 7-year-old, say this. Yes, get them used to the game, but you need coaches in place. You need a system. Hence, what Jurgen Klinsmann was talking about. And with the MLS Next, it all ties in because it cracks me up because when you see stuff like that, like it is funny. But like the street soccer, I mean, just going out like side, we used to play soccer in the street all the time. I mean, granted, yes, we would play some baseball and obviously not football on the street, but like we'd go play football at the park, but we'd play soccer. But when you see these coaches and it's to the youth level where then these kids they go play other sports because they're not getting the coaching, and then, like you said, if they do, then parents feel it's a scam. They're like, well, I'm not going to donate money to that when they can go play this and not get scammed.
It's false promises. They should say what it is. It's supposed to be something that you teach team unity, opportunity to work with others, and not about, oh, we're advancing you to the elite level. You just play, you compete, and you're allowed to fail and all those things. But that'll sidetrack me into a whole nother place.
Right. But then the MLS too, on top of that, because from the beginning, like. We got players from, Europe that were on their downside. It's like, I get you have a league, and I get, people say, oh, well, David Beckham. Yeah, David Beckham was playing insane in L.A., as you know, got a phenomenal contract, went back to Milan, probably should have been on the England World Cup team on that roster. Because I remember Carlo Ancelotti's like, they can do what they want. I'm not coaching the Italian national team. I'm not coaching the English national team. I don't understand how he played in L.A., he came here, he's been our leading in assists, he's playing at a top level, and England didn't put him on the team. But you bring players, that an anomaly, that are older, and that it's like you need to develop from within.
He got punished by the English national team because he went to the MLS,
That's right.
which is beneath his level. So he kind of did it to himself, but he also got a half $1 billion to do so. But well, let's look at the best tackle you will ever see. Finally. That was a goal.
What was that, 50 yards out?
It's like 70. I don't know. That was far.
It was very far.
That was ridiculous. That was far.
What's the furthest goal you ever scored? I never asked.
Not that far.
No, I know, but what's the furthest out you scored from?
Half field.
You scored from midfield? Wow.
Easily.
Not me. I scored 29 yards out was my longest. Upper 90 on the opposite side. What's that?
How many yards is half field?
50.
55, isn't it?
Depends on the field. Mine was a high school field.
Yeah, but but at the international level, it's 110 yards, right?
Halfway?
No, 120.
120 fully. So 60 would be midfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we covered half a bear. Oh, check this out. So when a PK goes wrong, it's usually the goalkeeper's fault.
Absolutely.
But not in this case.
Ignore the quality. It's worth it.
Yes!
That was unfortunate.
Wait, I missed a second.
The keeper made a great save, and then his defender went to clear it out, and he mishits it into the upper 90.
We had when my friend Brad and I were coaching, we had a kid on our team, Blake, and he was our center forward, but like we made everybody switch and play different positions halfway through the season just to get everybody. It's a rec team. We want them to learn. Some guys did not want to leave the back, and our midfielders never wanted to leave the midfield, which of course I loved. But he had a hat trick in the game, but the third goal was he was playing defense and he just didn't settle the ball. He had more than enough time, and he kicked it up in the air, and our goalie's sitting there, and it went like this, and it back spun into our own goal. So he got the hat trick. We called it. I made fun of him, called it a different name, which obviously I won't say now because I'll probably get in trouble. But he did have a hat trick. But it is. I've had balls ricochet off me on corners when I was coming back to defend, and honestly, I want to vomit because there's nothing you can do. But it's like that ball never should have even come near me to ricochet off me to beat our own goalie.
That is true. That is true. But speaking of mistakes, in this next video, you'll see the best save of all time. Problem, it was done by the attacking player inside the 6-yard box.
How to instantly be the most hated player on the team.
I can't stop.
That's tough to do. That was within 2 yards.
And that was he put that over trying to
over.
score.
He's trying to score and he hit it directly over. But that concludes all ball.
Very solid.
Yeah. And then we'll take questions from the listeners. All right. That's all ball. So we have a game this Tuesday, and I'll be doing color, and play-by-play will be with Michael Caratanudo. Do we have any questions?
Sort of.
Just comments?
Sort of. Cody asked, will PC versus UW be live streamed? I feel like
Yes.
Didn't we already answer that one?
And we can cover it again because
Yes, but maybe Cody wasn't here then. Don't yell at him. He has feelings too.
YouTube Live at the Phoenix College Sports. So if you search Phoenix College Sports, and subscribe to that channel, and hit the notification bell, it'll let you know when we are live. And you can also subscribe to this podcast.
And smash that like button.
Like it, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we're on every Sunday. Now, this is episode 690, and episode 700, guess who comes on?
Who?
J-Mac.
J-Mac. Every 100 episodes, Jessica McDonald comes on. So, yeah, Jessica McDonald will be here, not in studio, but we'll have to call her in, and she'll be here live. So that's in how many weeks, Ryan? So this is 91's next week, so it gives me 9 more weeks from today.
Yeah.
So 9 weeks. So in 2 months. So it'll be what, May, June?
Yeah, the end of May, like Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, she
Monday.
might be in town. Oh, you know what? We can do it when she's speaking at Phoenix College 100th year graduation. We'll do it that time frame.
Oh, that's right. 19, because, this. Oh, you mentioned that on the phone, and I've
yeah.
But yeah, so 1922 was the first class, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
100th year. It's a big one.
Got any, I'm not trying to be morbid, but you got any survivors from that class?
Have
they found any?
They have someone coming.
Nice.
That's like.
Or like maybe I think
like
if a son or daughter, a child of somebody that graduated then, or
they're, I don't know all the details,
Right.
but they're not. I mean, it's gonna be the biggest graduation ever done.
That's awesome.
I mean, they're flying Jessica McDonald just to be the keynote speaker.
Nice.
For that, so that'd be kind of cool.
I'll have to come check that out.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'll be there, I'm sure, working it. But I'm a graduate. I never walked. Maybe I'll walk this time.
You didn't walk?
Nope.
You didn't walk.
I didn't want to.
Oh, I didn't walk either.
That's because of COVID.
That's true.
Oh, you got.
She's a COVID. She's a COVID graduate.
Yay, lucky you.
Canceled graduation. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked walking in college. I went to. I had like that guy playing Sunday soccer with the beer the night before. We were gonna have a mellow night and wait till the night after, and my friends decided to change their mind, and my graduation was at 8:00 in the morning, and I didn't have to drive there, thank God, because I couldn't have passed a sobriety test.
Well, that's not good. But I had a message from Gabe Lucas, who I played with at Phoenix College. He has a few questions for me if I can call him sometime, and I said I can answer you right now live on YouTube. And I sent him the link. Has Gabe Lucas had any questions? If not, I will not call you back. I do everything live.
No, but we have a comment from Mother.
Uh-oh.
She said, Papa Chuck watched a UW camp and says PC should watch out for Soto and number 6 in the middle. So all you PC players watching, take note.
Wow.
Will do.
Scouting report. Look
Scouting
at that.
reports.
Extra scouting. That's a bonus scouting right there. Look at you.
Phoenix College is elevated. We've infiltrated their camp with 2 PC supporters and a third grandpa who's a big soccer enthusiast, studying every move.
There you go. So you honestly don't think the U.S. will beat Mexico?
No, they haven't done it since 2012.
Right, but I'm saying, well, no, I say the game ends in a draw.
That would be good.
1-1, 2-2, and they both end up with because then with the standings, like I showed, they both end up with 22 points, and the U.S. would still be up on goal differential, so that would put Mexico really behind the 8 ball. Because if you look at their last 5, I mean, the U.S. won, lost, won, tied, won. Mexico won, tied, won, lost. So I mean, I get it.
Well, the problem is Berhalter's putting a strange lineup together, and we've lost some players, but it's
that's what I was going to ask you.
It's
Who's
inconsistent.
out? Because I started to look at it this morning, and then I got kind of.
So I guess Pulisic is back in. McKinney's out. What's that?
We're talking
Men's.
I thought Berhalter coached women's.
Men's.
Really? This whole time?
Yep.
Oh, man. Anyways.
No. Berhalter's definitely the manly coach, but Berhalter is not much of a man because he had to use his brother to get the job, and he would have been fired, but COVID saved him. That guy's been saved by so many things. It's
but isn't
ridiculous.
it always a story outside of Klingsman, who everybody wanted gone because they thought he was too condescending and this and that? Even though it's funny, it all started, and I got into so many arguments. I know that'll surprise you when. In 2014, when he left Landon Donovan off the roster in Brazil.
Because Landon was like 30 pounds overweight.
And he should have been. Okay, this is what I said. I respect what Landon Donovan did. And my cousin and I used to argue because, yes, I played center mid. No, and I am taller than Landon Donovan. And back in my days of being in that shape, like I could have went toe-to-toe with him in center mid. You're at the international level. He got pushed off the ball. You know as well as I do, those referees are not making those little, when you get bumped a little bit and somebody takes you off the ball in the World Cup, they are not making that call. He got taken off. Yes, he did have a solid career. I'm not saying there wasn't good parts to his game. He did score some timely goals. But Jurgen Klinsmann brought a younger team, and everybody's complaining that Landon Donovan's whining like a little baby. And once he started doing that, every single little thing. But it's funny because U.S. advances out of group stage. Nobody expected him to do that. And then they get out of group stage, and then Landon Donovan's just whining. And I'm so glad like he is not a part of the Fox of the broadcast for the World Cup, because
he shouldn't be a part of anything. Here's Landon Donovan. I did a whole podcast on him. I'm Landon Donovan, and I think the U.S. has a decent shot. And say U.S. beats Brazil in the World Cup. Here's Landon Donovan's response. That was a really good victory by the U.S. They played really well. He's so monotone.
Oh, yeah, and he was. And he's
Landon monotone.
He was crazy. And even when they advanced, he was like, they were they had him on and stuff like that. And he's like, and it was all to the players. And that's fine. You don't want to give Klinsmann any credit. Great. But Klinsmann also wasn't so wishy-washy with the roster. I mean, and then you bring Bruce Arena back in. It's like, are you kidding me?
It's too late by then, and he tried. There's no...
Because Bruce Arena, and I never said this to you before, and I'm so glad we're talking about this, because I do think, I think they get a draw with Mexico. I'm not impressed. And again, not that the U.S., like you said, I mean, they're 1-1-1 against Canada. I mean, so it's one of those things where, I know, and the most recent one was when they lost to Canada. The funny thing is, and I usually watch their qualifying games, as you know, but I'm like, I'm not watching Canada. I'm like, Canada's not going to, I'm like, I know that, whatever, they'll be fine. And then the next day, they're like, all over, like, U.S. loses to Canada. I'm like, I guess I should have watched that. But
the only thing going good for U.S. right now is Mexico's not good. But the problem is U.S. has a horrible recent tradition of screwing up, and they don't do well in Mexico.
Well, okay, but wait, what did you say he was doing to the lineup, too? Because you said Pulisic is back. And then, but what else is tweaking?
They have a lot of injuries, and more can be coming this way. But it just I was just listening to ESPN FC. I forgot even the name of the player. They brought in a couple players that have like 2 caps, are just brought in. If that's the case, we're in big trouble. But who knows? 3 games. If they can get that, if they can get Mexico, they can win that one. That would be beyond huge.
I mean, I would take a tie against Mexico, and then you have
that'd be huge.
And then you have Panama. You say, Panama, and then Costa Rica, which you have. So you're here for Panama, which they should beat, and then Costa Rica. Again, I mean, and the thing is, I look at it this way from a frustrating standpoint for U.S. fans. If you go through with 3 ties, that's 24 points. You're still screwed because Canada finished first. Even if Canada loses the rest of their games, they still have 25 points. So if
sorry,
low
budget.
But if Canada, if they do that, then they
it switched on you. So when it flipped over and it switched to the other side. You find it. Yeah,
there we go. But so I mean, again, if you're Canada, I know you're not playing for that, but I think the U.S. can beat Panama. But it all, like you said, with the injuries, it all goes to Mexico, and that's another thing that when in qualifying that drives me absolutely crazy is that the U.S. had a total chance to, even after the loss to Canada, you had or when they tied them last time, and just the adjusting of the lineup. And I was going to say Bruce Arena too. The last thing that always drives me crazy about him, people are like, oh, he's the winningest coach, because I let him coach for so long. I'm like, they're like, well, I mean, the U.S., you want stability. I'm like, have you ever seen an international team with with a coach more than 2 World Cups? I go, yeah, no, because they're like, yeah, get out of here, go. Like, even if you did good, they're like, go, get out. But he ruined, and I'll say this, and people say, oh, you say certain athletes are a mental midget, and they say he ruined Eddie Johnson's career. When he did not start him against Ghana in, what was that, 06 in Germany? I think 06 in Germany. When he did not start him, you have your fastest player who's very solid on the bench. And then you bring him in the second half, and Ghana's just all over. Like, okay, they're trying to go to him now. Like, you didn't even give him a chance to run out the defense. Nothing. Wear out the defense, nothing. And Eddie Johnson, after that, never performed. And I partly blame Eddie Johnson, but Bruce Arena had no valid reason not to. His press conference was absolutely, I'll never forget it. I'm like, I was stoked because my dad and I got to watch Italy win the World Cup. So
we don't know what behind the scenes happened. I remember when Hope Solo got benched and she threw a big fit, and then we didn't know exactly what happened until the coach came out and said what happened after he was let go, so he wasn't part of the team anymore. And a lot of coaches are not allowed to say certain things,
right?
Because they keep it within the team, and that's Bruce Arena was coach for so long. It's probably already forgotten, but you know what happened to Hope Solo, right? The reason she was
benched against Brazil for Brianna Scurry that time.
Yeah. Do you know the story?
Well, I know that. I know I watched the game and I was in shock. Like, I couldn't believe it.
So,
either.
I actually I was in a convention, and the head coach at the time told the real story of what happened, because he wouldn't say it while he was coach, and his name got destroyed. So apparently Hope Solo broke some major team rules that they had to punish.
Oh.
And they broke the team rules, and like she's broke so many, like taking U.S. Women's national team vehicles out, drinking and driving, to a lot of crazy
I know
things.
she was a partier, but for especially on the women's side, because they actually do win. They have won. They've always improved. They play together, and they're better than the men's side on the national level. We all know that here. But that actually would have been, if that would have came out then, if that happened now, that definitely would have came out with social media and everything. That would have came out. That would have actually been better for the coach and the team. Like, no, we understand this is a big game. She's getting benched because she did this.
Yeah.
Like, that would actually be a lot better.
Yeah. What the one thing he did say, and I forgot what was the name of the guy, but they had a rule, like, we keep everything within the team. Do not let the media know anything.
Right.
So, being the leader, being the coach, you just got to take that. But being a coach at the national team level, you're going to get fired anyway.
Absolutely.
So, you might as well keep your.
But with Eddie, I get it with Hope Solo, but with Eddie Johnson, I'm saying he was having such a good World Cup on that outside. I mean, he was pushing forward, but he wasn't. He was still playing. And I know because a lot of the broadcasters were talking about his defense and not dropping back. And you don't start him against a team that has scored, that wants to push their backs up. I mean, everybody, yes, get it. You're right. You're out. Your backs are going to make runs, but you're going to hold. As well as I do. If you have a midfielder or a forward that is like, especially a midfielder, because he was playing back in the midfield anyway, that's coming on the outside. That guy can't make that run. You're actually alleviating your defense. It's not rocket science. And look, Bruce Eddie, he came in the game, so it's not like he was getting benched for the first half for some team rules. It was the worst coaching, and then people were upset when Bruce Arena got fired. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Well, I've done worse, but it's mainly because I'm doing too much. I can't really focus on coaching. That's why I had to bring in Vlato to take over the Bears, as I elevate myself to GM and color commentator. But that's.
Yes, but you built a program. I'm just saying it's different at every level, and we all know at the national level, yes.
Well, he wasn't a coach. Like he never played soccer.
Who?
Bruce Arena.
Right. No, I know.
It's not a soccer guy.
That's what
he was actually.
Killed me too.
He was a groundskeeper at a high school, and then a high school coach, and then a college coach, and elevated the right. I mean, he's very organized.
Right. No, and I love that about him. But like, he stuck by. And it used to drive me nuts because even, like I said, when Landon Donovan was coming up, you can't, at the international level, get shoved off the ball that easy. Like, you can't.
Landon in his heyday was ridiculous because he's so quick and fit and can run forever.
100%.
And then,
but if he got caught up in the midfielder up front, those bigger. When Italy won the World Cup in 06, and it's not to be a homer and hash on that, when I watched it with my dad, when they won the World Cup in 2006, I said Germany is a nightmare because look at those defenders. I mean, they already had guys that were 6'2", 6'3", and it's not just because at that level that they're tall. They're athletic. You're not going to have a 5'7", 5'8" midfielder go in there and get any call. I mean, again, unless they're coming in spikes up and the referee, like, it's that blatant. But you're up in the air. You have no chance against that. Landon Donovan was quick, and yes, he made plays, but I say to Klingsman, and everybody complained, the U.S., and then they advanced. It's funny. All those people are like, that know nothing about the game, which I love during the World Cup, to at least they get involved enough to watch. But I'm like, yeah, Landon Donovan should have been there. Why? Because he wouldn't have helped them advance. They advanced without him.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. He wouldn't have done anything there. He was. If you're not going to be quick, you better have something. And he had no size. There's definitely that case. And the World Cup is in the winter this go around.
Pathetic.
Maybe without the U.S. We don't
forgot to ask
know.
you real quick. We got like 30 seconds, but are you mad about that? I'm annoyed because it shouldn't be awarded. And again, it's not about with the forget the scandal aside. Like, you can't award it to a place where it's 130 degrees in the summer. Like, you just can't. I'm sorry.
I thought they're doing air conditioning stadiums, but here's the problem: keep it in the summer. I don't care where it's at, because I'll be watching from TV. But if they're doing it in the winter, and it's gonna be COVID crazy, and they're gonna shut it down anyway. So whatever.
Oh, that's I didn't even think about. Oh wow.
Yeah,
now I'm even more annoyed.
Yeah,
Thank you,
flu
sir.
and COVID. That'd
Thanks
be
a lot,
awesome.
Sepp. Thanks a lot, Sepp, for taking those bribes.
Yeah. Ryan, we all good?
Do you want to take this last question?
Sure.
It's from Troy Quarter. Did you see the Brooks statement about being left off?
Oh, and Brooks scored this weekend too. Nice, buried a goal. Brooks Lennon from Arizona. No, I did not. What was the statement?
Troy?
Yeah, Troy's not gonna be there.
Whenever you're ready.
Well, I'm sure people will have that. I mean, we could look it up, but yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm too tired. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, wherever else podcasts are found, or go to CoachCameron.com for direct access. Thank you so much, Mike Caratanudo, who, if you're this close, maybe we can get you coming every Sunday as we evolve this, because this is the same kind of setup we're going to do on our live stream, and it's a good opportunity to keep talking everything about soccer in Arizona and beyond.
Absolutely. It was great.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks, Jack and TJ, and we are out.